Hello, greetings of all kinds. Namaste. The spirit in me acknowledges the spirit in you as one spirit. Today I'm being called to talk about God-sciousness, which is my word for the source of everything, which is consciousness. It is not a being. It is not an old man with a beard sitting on a throne. It's not a womb. It's not the goddess. It's not Sophia. It's not a god. It's God-sciousness, which preceded the division into divine masculine and divine feminine. If you would like to put it on a timeline, just say 1 trillion years ago, before anything physical was even imagined, before the universe, before the Elohim, before anything else, was one God-sciousness, and it became self-aware. And some of us like to say that was when it went, I am. Now, the interesting thing about that is it says, I. So there's a me-ness. Now, 1 trillion years ago, there was no English language. So there was no throats either. So it didn't say, I am, all right? But God-sciousness, being consciousness, realized that it was. The be verb, in this case, if you want to say I am, well, individuality is a state of being. Individuality exists. Could have been the first thought. And then it was very excited, God-sciousness. Wow, right? And apparently there was colors and motion happening, which is cool. There wasn't eyeballs to perceive them. But hey, who am I to argue those little details? However, as I understand it, God-sciousness then created the first split in consciousness that allowed it to see itself, and that became what we refer to as the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, and they saw each other and instantly fell in love, because that's all there was. God-sciousness is love. Only. And then the first tantric love-making session happened for, let's just say, 1 billion years, okay? And then they still, God-sciousness, those two, nothing else existed, nothing physical existed for another 1 billion years or so. And what these two, which were actually the same thing from different perspectives. What they did was took turns going to sleep, and the other would watch the sleeping one, and then one would wake up, and maybe they'd have a little chat with their non-existent speaking things that they didn't have. Oh, it was telepathy. Yeah, sorry. The other would sleep. One time in one of the dreams, one of the sleeping ones dreamt that it was actually 144,000 selves sleeping. And upon awakening, it was so very excited to find that the waking one had had the same dream, that it was 144,000 aspects of itself, watching the other 144,000 aspects of itself sleep. They awoke, saw the multiplicity, and then they went back into tantric lovemaking, and there you could call that the Big Bang, if you like, although that term is kind of... All right, here's my issue with the Big Bang. Scientists say that everything was really small and then it went Big Bang. Then how come different things are different ages, like our planet? If the Big Bang went bang, then every single star and every single planet, every single galaxy, all is the exact same age. Neighbors. All right, so we'll leave that part in. This is what I deal with every day. Not many people know this, but neighbor has 5 dogs. All right, so yeah, that's my thing. And I'm sure there's lots of scientists who say, well, that's because blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever. That's fine. I'm sure you have a great explanation. God-sciousness is consciousness that still exists. It is the one thing that everything else is happening inside of. Everything that is happening now is a dream inside God-sciousness. God-sciousness is not a being. It is a potentializing force of source creativity. We, at one point, decided to physicalize ourselves, and we thought it would be more fun to forget everything before we came into these bodies, almost everything. We knew it would be better that way, in many ways, for most of us to forget everything. Lately, with past life regressions and certain plant medicines and maybe combinations of those and other things I'm unaware of as of yet, people have been remembering their past lives. Awesome! I have not yet remembered those. Not all of us need to. All you need to know is that you are God-sciousness in a human body. You are waking up to the fact that you are God-sciousness, and this body is just so temporary. It's almost like nothing, but it's everything at the same time. We love that. God-sciousness loves that. Now, let's say 10 billion years ago, one of those 144,000 aspects got a little bored or something of being completely loved and loving only in the light. Maybe this was even before the physical universe. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's just a story. So one of those aspects of consciousness had a very brief thought. What if I were separate from God-sciousness? And at the exact same instant that one had that one thought of separation, God-sciousness said, I completely, totally love you unconditionally. I unconditionally forgive you. I unconditionally trust you. And that one aspect said, thank you, I know. I need to explore dorkness. And that one aspect instantly became the farces of dorkness. Okay? It knew it was unconditionally loved, unconditionally forgiven, and unconditionally trusted because it was God-sciousness. There is nothing in existence that is not God-sciousness. Everything is. And we are playing the game of reunification. We went out, we're exploring the darkness. We have explored the darkness completely and totally. Basically ended on August 9th, 1945, basically. Although, there's been a lot since then. Yeah, we know. Nothing as bad as the 6th and the 9th. That was our wake-up call to us. We needed it. All is forgiven. Now, one of the other aspects of God-sciousness is that when God-sciousness enters a human body, it forgets that it is God-sciousness, most of us. Some of us, like, I should have prepared my book in advance so I could just pull it out and go, whoa. This guy went into God-sciousness in one moment. Early teens, I forget his age. Let's just say 13. I love that number. And he instantly went into tantric God-sciousness. He said for many years, all his best teachings were given silently. You just came to sat near him, and you could feel and it was enough to wake you up. And you can read the book and get the textual versions. Ooh. We are waking up, my dear. One of the other aspects of God-sciousness in a human body is forgetting, so that we may experience dorkness. And whenever something triggers you to feel hate, what that means is there's something inside you that you hate. That's all it means. So it is showing you what you need to heal. And if you hate the potential for totalitarian destruction inside you, then you have to heal that inside you. And then if by chance you happen to see it outside of you, it will have no effect on you, except for the fact that you will send it unconditional love and unconditional healing and unconditional trust. Because you unconditionally forgive everything and everyone. And that, my love, is God-sciousness.